I don't think all Mexicans are rapists.
No. Thank you, sir.
That's how you, that's the other guy. Don't get us mixed up.
I know, sir.
God bless white America. The KKK is planning an attack.
How do you propose to make this investigation?
We'll establish contact over the phone. We'll need a white officer to play me when they meet face to face.
I'm still digesting your film, but
You saw it this morning?
yeah, I saw it this morning, and it's a hard film. And what I read in your film is that there's this racism against black people, but there's also a Jewish involved or attacked in a way indirectly, and the victim of Charlottesville is a white girl. So at the end, I understood that sooner or later, racism is against all of us.
And again, thank you for doing this interview. And you told me, I just got told that you're Mexican, and what this president of the United States has done and said against Mexicans is hateful. And this whole thing recently, where not necessarily they were all Mexicans, but so-called immigrants who were young infants being ripped from the arms of their mothers. And still, children are separated from the parent, and they don't even know how to get them back. It seems to me, if you're gonna, even though it's so hateful, but if you're gonna separate families, aren't you gonna put some measures in place so a young infant can be reunited with their family? They don't even have that. Then this motherfucker say that the country of Mexico, we're building a wall and you're gonna pay for it. Oh my God. This is what we're dealing with now. I like the former president of Mexico who's like, right back to you. That was great.
Could you tell me something about your character? How did you prepare your character?
A lot of Soul Train. I was dancing a lot. I was singing the old school tunes. It was interesting too, like not listening to any, contemporary music, just listening to all old school stuff, and even watching old school shows like Sanford and Son and like just all these different like classic films. It started to change how I even think about like how I reacted to stuff, and not watching any news or anything. Only news I saw were from documentaries. It changed it changed the way I was living my life almost. But what was interesting was how not much has changed. You know what I mean? Like, especially when it comes to like these sort of social issues, you know what I mean? And I think the film really tackles that, how it is a period piece, but it has this contemporary feel to it because the subject matter is an old one, but it's still happening today.
You for the white race, Ron?
Oh, hell yeah.
So there becomes a combined Ron Stallworth.
Can you do that?
With the right white man, we can do anything.
But I would like to know, how do you feel? I saw Do the Right Thing a long time ago.
Long time ago. 1989.
Yeah, it's been 30 years, and now you're...
Be 29, be 30 next year.
Yeah, almost 30 years. Is this fight against racism a never-ending fight?
Racism is not going to end till white supremacy ends. That's what I feel. They're interconnected.
And that's something you talk with your actors, for example?
They can read the script. We didn't have to discuss it. We all knew what the script's about. We knew what the story's about. So we never had discussions about what's happening in the world today. We live in it. We don't have to discuss it. We live in it every day.
Hello, this is Ron Stallworth calling. Who am I speaking with?
This is David Duke.
Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. That David Duke?
God, last time I checked. What can I do you for?
How did you find the balance between comedy and drama? Because your character has something of that.
I wasn't looking for the comedy, man, to be honest. I wasn't trying to be funny. I've worked on comedies before, and I know there's a certain formula there. If I'd applied that to this, it would have been a disservice to the film. It would have been a disservice to Ron Stallworth. I'm not trying to make a mockery of his life. We're not trying to. What he did should be taken seriously and should be celebrated. You know what they did, the officers that were successful in the sting operation. You know what I mean? So it was incumbent upon me to just to be as truthful and as authentic as I can be. The stuff that, I mean, the hilarity in this is how ridiculous it is. But it's true. It happened. He did that. He did these things. So I knew that we were in a safe place because it was a true place, and we had his blessing, his being Ron Starworth. So we explored stuff. We had some fun. You know, I wasn't just playing it straight there. I was letting the elements, I was letting what with the chemistry that was happening with the actors, what Spike Lee was giving me, all this stuff, I was letting it dictate how I performed.
So what kind of stuff you guys do?
Cross burnings, marches. This is fixing to be a big year for us.
You ask too many questions. You undercover or something?
But didn't you, for example, put them to watch the DW film?
Oh, okay. Now we're talking about something. There was research done.
Okay.
Kathleen Cleaver, who was a big part of the Black Panthers, she's now a law professor at Emory University. We had her speak to us. We lost a lot of film, archival films, a lot of documentaries, books. That was done, but we didn't have. I didn't have to. You know, people gonna do research. When I sign books and stuff, for people to read.
How do you feel when you knew that you were going to participate in a Spike Lee film? I mean, you were there as a child, but now being the main character, who is Spike Lee for you? I mean,
A hero.
how important is he?
Yeah, he's maybe. I mean, we all, every man or woman of color, we're standing of color. So that doesn't mean black. That means Latin. I mean, we're all standing on his shoulders. You know what I mean? I feel in cinema. You know what I mean? He really broke that door open for us. You know, as far as storytelling and getting into the details of our neighborhood, of our culture.
I'm telling you, the wars are coming.
And how do you know that John David Washington was the real choice? Was it intuition because you know him since he was a child, but working is another thing.
I knew he could do it. I knew he could do it. There was never doubt in my mind. There was doubt of had him audition. There was doubt of had, let me see you on tape. If I doubt we should meet. No. I got his number, said, I want you to do this film. The part is yours if you want it. Voila, that was it.
As you know, now the Hispanics are kind of a new target of this American government, you know. Do you think that it's going to be important also for the Hispanic audiences to watch this film?
I certainly hope so. I mean, he uses, you know, there's some words in there that are foul, that are not okay when dealing with the Latin community. I mean, they don't discriminate. The Ku Klux Klan, they hate all people.
Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
That's us, Stallworth brothers. We're on a roll, baby.
And was the same with the rest of the characters?
No. That was only for John David. Everybody else had to audition.
Even Adam Driver, for example? Yeah.
We had to have a meeting because we never worked together. We never worked together, so we had a meeting first. He wanted to meet him, I wanted to meet him. It was like, let's meet first and see if we can move on. And he's great in the film.
Spike Lee is a political director for me. Do you think that we as audiences need more political films, in a way?
I don't know if we need more. If we do, it's got to be people that are responsible enough to deliver the messages. He is one of them. I don't think he was trying to dictate people's political ideas. I think he was just sort of putting on display on how people in America think and talk behind closed doors. These people that you might work with might be using these words at their home. So I think we need to start, you know, finding out whatever the words are that are less divisive, that we can somehow at least coexist peacefully and find the language to do so.